The Mark of the Rani, story number 3 in season 22, Colin Baker's first full season as Doctor Who. This story also has three Time Lords, all with different interests: our hero, the Doctor, the arch villain, the Master, and someone new, the Rani. Let us look at the Rani. The name Rani loosely translates to queen. This name is an odd choice. She is clearly situated in the naming conventions that brought us the Doctor and the Master. In other words, a title instead of a proper name, like many other Time Lords. Now, this is a meaningful distinction among Time Lords, even other exiled Time Lords. The Doctor, the Master, the War Chief, they have a special status separate from those who kept their proper names. Those with names are still living, if not within its laws, still within the worldview of the Time Lords. Whether they take menial positions in the grand order of things, think Drax and Azamel, or retain distance from the worldview, Kanpo, they are outsiders, yet they are still part of Time Lord society. Then the outright renegades, those who lose their names and now live at odds with the Time Lord Society. This category includes the Doctor and, by extension, his opposite, the Master. But the Rani makes a strange addition to this group, where the Doctor and the Master have deep and hidden reasons for joining the Nameless. The Rani's reason sounds like someone is building a joke. Her lab mice mutated and ate the president's cat, and took a chunk out of him too, leading to her exile. Not quite the origin of a legendary character. Even her name is odd. The name means queen, a Hindu word brought into the British culture through colonialism. Now, if the Rani is conceptually a parody, she is in practice compelling. Kate O'Mara may be a little mockable and quite camp, but in building the Rani, the show has returned to something that has worked before. Think Roger Delgado as the Master, finding a familiar character actor, then letting them define the character, not mime another performance. The result: O'Mara gets proper villainous moments. In many ways, she is a colder killer than anyone outside of the Master, holding herself as a most superior being, and the rest of us as meaningless creatures. An early moment where her callousness towards humans shows. She calmly guns down her henchmen once they become useless to her. So this story ends up in the odd position of presenting us with a character who, on paper, is far less interesting than the Master, only for her to upstage him at every opportunity. The Rani doesn't just upstage the Master, she openly mocks the conventions of his character, pointing out he is being ridiculous at every turn. Yet, why bring the Master into a story designed to introduce a new character? With the Rani as the main protagonist, he is here only to establish her credibility. Our three Time Lords each has their own position. The Doctor insists on maintaining the arc of history. The Master ends up as an anarchist who wants to destabilize history's flow for the sake of it. And the Rani? She seems disinterested in the historical process, caring only for her scientific project and maybe to rule the universe. Faced with two polar opposites and villains, there is little room left for the Doctor. It's not that he is stuck with the Rani and the Master. His position is to referee between them. For all that Colin Baker uses to define his Doctor, bombastity and bluster come to mind, here he faces two different mirrors of himself. Now, this is my favorite of the six Doctor stories, my go to for six. Yes, it's a little campy, and three Time Lords is one too many, but I enjoy this one. So watch The Mark of the Rani.